Dictionary.com describes an unplanned approach as impromptu, done without preparation, unpremeditated, done without intention, random, done without order, unintended, done without purpose, unwitting, done without awareness, or spontaneous, done without thought. Sounds about right. Well, now that we have that established, let's start the show. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode, I suppose. And tonight we have one of my favorite people. We met.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate
right. Yeah.
Oh, it's not
no,
me?
It's not. Well, you know, it's actually
ego.
right. It's an ego killer, but we're here with my friend Ann. We met about a year and a half ago, and she's just one of those people. When we met, it was we're going to be friends, and that doesn't happen to me real often. So I'll be sincere for a second. It doesn't happen to me very often, but you're one of those people. I met you and it's like, okay, we're friends. We're always friends. So, yeah. So how are you today?
Introduce yourself, young lady.
I'm fabulous.
She's 16. Found her right outside high school.
Try this again. Take two. Well, this started off on the wrong foot.
Oh, wait.
Usually we don't get this
I'm not
bad
even
till-
allowed to be that close to high school.
Wait a minute. We usually don't get this bad until 45 minutes in.
Right.
Holy shit. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, after that, I know. Where you go after that?
Where do you go after that? Back to the truck stop. Oh, right.
Truck stop. Is it Love's or Crystal Flash? I always feel a little better about feeling awkward at Love's because it says Love's.
Pilot? You pilot girl?
Pilot. That's
Why pilot?
Pick me up. That's where we
Oh, that's where, okay. I don't pay attention to the truck stop. I just drive through.
That's where you guys met?
No.
Jeez, I don't know what.
I mean, we
think
did
you guys
tonight.
Are,
Tonight
you guys are
we
fucking
did.
with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
The joke's on me this evening. So how did you guys? Okay, so friends, all that stuff. I do get that. How did that come about? You didn't go to high school. It's not one of those deals.
No, I actually went in, us being both life insurance guys, I went in to talk to her about life insurance and we started talking and just our humors kind of jive and yeah.
How'd you get that lead? Or did you walk into a business?
Yeah, it was a cold lead.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It
rang
was
your
just,
doorbell?
it literally was like
He walked
flip
in
a
the door.
coin.
He walked in the door and I looked and I went, oh, these are insurance.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
Huh.
Wait a minute. How did you? So okay, was it your place of work? Or?
It was my place
Okay.
of business.
Okay.
And
So
he
you
walked in with he was actually
Was
in
he in a
training.
suit?
Not the first time.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, it's pretty.
Were you carrying a briefcase.
No, I was not carrying. I've never carried a briefcase.
Nerd.
And I had glasses, a little tape in the corner.
How'd you know he was an insurance guy?
Just because I could tell. I mean, when people walk into my store, I'd always be like, they're here to sell. I could tell if they're customers or if they're here.
Can
to,
you?
Right.
And usually they come in pairs. And when they come in pairs too, you're like, okay, they're either insurance or,
Right.
they're here to try to sell something.
That's funny because when I was in pharmaceuticals, I was the one that was telling all the people in pharma, man, we got to quit wearing suits. Because as soon as we walk in the door, old hefty Haggard up at the table's like, nope, we don't see reps. You can do lunch. I'm like, no shit, we can do lunch there.
Right.
2-ton Tilly up there. But so now they wear scrubs. Now it's more casual. And
Really?
I hate to say it, I was probably the one that started that.
Well, right, you're the
I
trendsetter.
walk in with my
Hates to
shirt
say-
off. As soon as I made Winter Circle, they were like, "What's your secret?" I go in shirtless.
Here it is.
Hey, if you're selling those,
Who wants some of
this
this?
guy walking in, I'm a before and after.
Now, see, the thing that was said to me is try to look a little different than like regular Joe Schmo, and you're wanting them to potentially like give you money for life insurance. Act like you can handle that responsibility.
Well, that's what they tell. One of the reasons financial advisors, 90%, the good ones.
Right.
Drive
I'm
a-
not one of the good
Well,
ones.
they
I'm
drive-
one of the very mediocre ones.
You are in that. So
Yeah, right.
you drive people drive a Mercedes, have a nice suit because they want people to think,
Not me.
this guy's going, yeah.
Right. You want this guy to handle your money. He
Right.
should be driving something better than me.
Right. And that is not the case. Right.
On sideways or shit. Like, this guy, he's in the penny stocks. He's a fucking rubber dog shit. from Tokyo.
Every time I'm in a car newer than 2015, I think I'm in a spaceship. Oh my God, what is it? What is this newfangled thing?
It's talking to me.
You're right. I don't understand. God,
Well, at least it's got headlights.
right?
Does it have so say I'm doing your property and casualty insurance. Now, if you go through it, it'll ask you what features does the car have, and I just kind of let it tell me because it's like anti-theft. What exactly is anti-theft? Is that
I take the keys out.
Well, the beep, the click, or is it I mean, everything's got anti-theft now. Everything has an alarm. Typically, when we were growing up, you had to have the car. You're too close to the car. Back up in 5, 4. One of my buddies had that, and we used to do it we used to go fuck with it on purpose. And he's sitting out there like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Back up from the vehicle. I'm like, dude, this isn't even a nice vehicle. Why do you have this piece of shit?
Cobra. Remember the snake? Cobra.
Right.
Yeah, he's like,
That'd be great. That's good shit. So he walks in his non-3-piece suit. Who was more aggressive at selling, him or his boss?
his boss, definitely.
Oh, by far.
Who was he?
By
Yeah,
far,
she-
I am.
Is he gonna listen to this?
I am way
No,
I am
she's
way
a-
too passive.
Redheaded
Yeah, she's a little bit of a bulldog.
bass.
Oh, it's a
chakra.
she?
Yeah.
Well, this was then.
Yeah, this was then.
I'm in a different company now, and no, she.
Different program.
I couldn't imagine her listening to it, but even so, she knows she's much more aggressive than me. I'm very
She probably had a
passive.
crush on you.
No, no.
I'm trying to put
Come on.
Hey, I'm trying to put a picture together.
Right.
But
You're
she
trying to
drove
put
a
lipstick on a
Cadillac,
pig, is what you're
right?
trying to do.
She drove a Cadillac.
She did drive a Cadillac. She drove a much nicer car than me.
A nice one or an old one?
No, nice. It's relatively new.
Like the Cadillac STD?
Yeah. STD?
STD.
No, you're following. You went.
I get confused.
No, I'm talking sexually trans. Yes.
I know what you. Yeah, I got
Follow
it. I got it. I got it.
the-
I got it. Right. Follow the little ball.
I got you a little bit there. Cut you off the bat. But no, I mean, we've all had those.
Right.
I mean, what was I? Oh, so funny you say about aggressive people. So somebody called me the other day, and I made the mistake of answering the phone, and it was a travel company. Hey, Jason, you got all these credits. And they go through all the shit, and then they passed me over to this other guy.
Of course.
He said, "How do you?" He goes, "Why haven't you talked to us in the past?" And I said, "Well, I usually don't have time." So he assumed that meant I had time. He goes through all of his shit, and I said, "Man, he goes, what's keeping you from buying this today?" And I'm thinking, you got to be fucking joking. You're gonna pull the fucking used car salesman on me? So I'm like, man, to be honest, financially right now it's not a good deal. I don't really have time to get into all that. He goes, "You just told me this was the most time you've had it." I said, "I did not say that." And I said, "You know what, pal? You're coming off a little aggressive here. I don't fucking like it, so I'm done talking to you." But click. I thought, what?
He hung up on
When
you,
did that
or
turn
you
into
hung up on him?
I hung up on
Oh,
his ass.
okay,
I'm like,
okay, yeah.
when did that become the way to sell? I mean, I've had bosses in the past too that were like that. They're like, I had a boss. That story will be later this evening. But I mean, they're well. Why did we leave? Why didn't you follow up with a question? I'm like, I don't know. Did you look in that office? Everybody was pissed off. They were backed up. There were people coming out the door. I said, "I'll just drop off my card, some candy, tell them, hey, looks like you're having a rough day, and leave." I said, "I'll have that account in 6 months." Well, yeah, but you should have. I'm not taking. I don't take bosses on a fucking what they call the candy ride where you go all your best accounts.
Yeah.
And I'll do that shit. I say, you want to see the real deal, and if you're going to judge me on it, then you're not. Then you were never a salesman.
Right.
You're just an asshole. So. All right, so now I'm.
Yeah, let it go. Let it go.
Had a good day. So go ahead. Sorry, I'm stepping on toes.
That's okay. So yeah, she was a bulldog. She
Yeah,
was still
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, much more aggressive than me. Yeah, but it was
Well,
it was weird. We
had
just started
Cheryl,
talking,
we
and
had
it just
Cheryl and
it
Mike
just
there,
kind of
too.
clicked. Do what?
I said we had Mike and Cheryl there too, and Cheryl's like a dumpster fire, and so that just kind of like
There is definitely some smoke rising.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, a
So
little bit.
what do you do? Do you mind me asking?
well, I did.
Oh, okay.
Did
I did. I ran my family's business. Well, we had 2 businesses, and I ran one of them for 20 years. Yeah.
So what's it in the vicinity of? Like, was it
Appliances,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's fine.
washers, dryers, that
Was
kind
it
of
Watkins?
no,
Okay,
thing.
'cause
no,
that's a major brand. That's not a
no.
No.
local store. So
No. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, I just didn't
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
naming it.
Right.
Oh shit! Cut it. I didn't know that. I was fucking joking.
No, you didn't.
no, you
No,
didn't.
I'm saying I didn't want to pigeonhole.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was all.
oh no. Okay,
We'll
no.
explain later.
Yeah, we'll explain
explain
later.
later.
We'll explain off
Yeah.
air.
Good
Yeah.
enough.
No, we're good.
Dude, that was if I hit it, man.
No,
hey,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
going to play the lottery. 'Cause
I don't think it's like that. I think it would just be opening because she would throw her opinion out, and I know I'd throw mine out because
Right.
I'm Team Ann, and I don't like any of them motherfuckers either.
Right,
Okay,
right.
so I don't.
Right.
So I don't have any idea what went on with anything. I was just trying to figure out. So you walk into stores like that to sell?
Like no,
Well, I mean,
no.
You walk into like just regular stores. How did you?
Back then, everything was a cold call, and it was what was I collared shirt probably
Yeah.
But was
collared
that a-
shirt and nice dress pants.
Is it a company that's reached out at some point, or you got a? How did you even get the lead, or did you just pull in the parking lot? And say, we're going in that place.
They give like an automated lead, and you call and say, you're verifying the owner. So does Ann still own? Yes. Someone answered yes. I went there.
Oh, gotcha.
But sometimes I just walked in. Sometimes I didn't care.
So your first impression was, oh shit, man.
Yeah.
Somebody's coming.
Oh,
What kind
I
of
would
day
say
were you having
I
at
would
that
say
point, though?
100%. Her first impression of me was oh shit.
What kind of day were you having before that? Was it a shitty day, or was it? I mean, because let's be honest, if you're having a shitty day and somebody walks in, you're like, oh shit, that means you just don't want to talk to them. But if you're having a great day and somebody walks in, that might be like, oh shit, let's fuck with these guys today. Which one was it?
It was pretty much more the shit.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
I mean,
don't have the patience for this today.
Right.
I don't have the energy. I'm
Right.
like, with everything else going on, now they expect me to stop and talk to them. Like, I have 50 things that I should be doing right now, and like,
But you noticed right away it was friends. Boom.
no,
You were Jesse.
No,
and
because
Slater.
that first day, I actually remember this very distinctly, and I don't know why, but she was dressed up for Halloween because it's right before Halloween, and me being, I'm really pretty passive at all this self stuff. If this is something you want to talk about, I am more than happy to talk to you about it. But if
I'm
you
not gonna
don't
shove
want
it down
to,
their throat.
then
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
and I think I think she responded to that a little bit because she said, "Hey, I'm kind of busy. I'll see you a different day." And I came back a few days later. Then we talked and like, "Hey,
Right.
big thumbs up."
Did you sell it? Did you close?
Yeah,
So you got some life insurance out of it?
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
employee of the month.
but way more important, I've got a really good friend. I've got somebody that I truly enjoy her company and
Now, you're a really good salesman if you can sell that life insurance policy and make yourself the beneficiary.
right. I'm not that good.
I took the class and I said that, and the guy goes, "What?" Like, I was deranged. I was joking.
I think
It could
that might be
happen.
a conflict of
It
interest.
could happen.
It might be. A
I was
conflict of
joking. I said,
interest.
"Man, this is great. I won 6 sales awards because I was the beneficiary of every policy I sold."
Right.
What? How did you? I think that's illegal.
Hey, as soon as you
Red
sign this
flag,
policy,
red
I want to
flag.
take you out of the country and show you this thing.
Look at this cliff.
Let's go
That's
skydiving.
good shit.
Right, let's go skydiving. I'll pack the chute.
Yours
Yeah,
is
yeah,
full of
exactly.
laundry. Wow. Oh shit. Well, that's cool. So you ended up getting a sale out of it.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And then just over the month, I would go in and just kind of check to make sure everything was going, because I was really pretty new when we met, and
Green.
Yeah.
oh,
Way behind
absolutely,
you.
and I was really worried that I was going to do something wrong, so I was in
So
there
then I
all the
started making
time.
him work. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, if you're gonna be in here, like you can start like.
Grab this
I
shit
moved-
and take it
Yeah.
to shelf.
I
I'd be
did.
Like, answer
I did.
the phone. Answer the phone. Hey, you hear that ringing? Answer the phone. and,
Right.
help me dolly this out. And, yeah.
What'd you say? How do you answer the phone? This is Kyle.
Right?
Who are you?
What?
I'm the
help you
life
with that.
insurance guy. I don't know. You guys sell life insurance now? I do.
Yeah, now it's a new
Sometimes
part of
answer
the
the phone.
right. It's a new part of the
It
service,
comes with a warranty.
That's right.
What? We're so
That's your
nervous.
warranty.
right?
Oh shit.
So yeah.
Good. Perfect.
He hasn't left me alone since.
No, I have not left you alone since. I've actually I've called you. Well, no, I didn't. I think today was the first time I called.
Yeah.
But I know I've sent a few texts saying you need to be on here. You need to be on here.
So how
need
did
to be
you
on
figure
here."
out tonight was the night? How did you like when I told you?
You called and
Right.
and I just was thinking, who?
Who could get out at a later
Well,
hour?
right, and who would we have some fun with? And I mean, if
You
nothing else,
agreed to it?
she's
You
a
were
fun
just like,
conversation.
Yeah, I'm in.
Well,
That's how you, man. See, this is what I learned about reading books about 1980s serial killers.
Right.
Okay, this just went in a totally different direction.
They're right.
So if you watch Mindhunter and all that stuff,
Dude, I
all
have
those-
that book.
I know all those people were getting murdered in California, and it didn't dawn on anybody, any female between the ages of, I don't know, 16 and 35.
Hitchhiking was a bad
Yes!
idea.
I present to you.
That's the first fucking thing I thought. I get to like the 5th story, and I'm going, why are you still?
Right.
First of all, especially if, God, I hate to say this, but it's true. If you look good,
Right.
you got probably a 98% better chance of being murdered.
Right.
By somebody picking you up on the side of the 1980s blonde, the way
So
that
pick
it
you
was.
up. Right.
I mean, so it didn't dawn on anybody in California that, hey, if you need a ride, go find a payphone and call me. Don't just go up the 105.
Well, they didn't have Uber then.
Well, and I'm pointing because how far? I won't say from where to where, but how many miles did you hitchhike?
I don't know.
I think
When?
you've done it a time or two, though, right?
When?
Well, I mean,
It happens
You got a little
sometimes.
hippie
when there's
vibe in you.
festival, well, I guess okay. Well, I could definitely say from, yeah,
By yourself?
from my first
Yes.
dead show. Yeah, for my first dead show, I was not very old.
Oh, you're
Well,
okay.
I
I get it. I'm starting to get
Yeah,
it.
she's
So-
making grilled cheese
Is
and
it coming in
vans.
clear?
I was
It's coming in clear.
No. See, my friend left me there and then called my parents and said, "Is Ann home yet?" And they were like, "She was with you, Carrie." And luckily, these people had seen me there, like looking for her, and they were nice enough to drive me home 2.5 hours out of their way, and went up to the front door and explained to my dad it wasn't my fault. Like they were.
How old are we talking?
She's like 12.
I was 12.
What?
Yeah,
You were at a Grateful Dead concert when you were 12?
I was.
With who?
My friend Carrie.
And
Well-
she was 12?
No.
She
No,
drove.
No, she drove.
I'm like, this is.
She
you're
drove
right,
at 12.
dude.
No,
You're right.
She's like-
This is not what I expected. Greatest episode ever.
Their family skied with us. Like, went to Colorado and skied with us. And
We're out in
stuff.
Colorado. Oh, I'm out.
Oh,
I lost something.
You probably unplugged it. I don't know.
No, I think there's a short.
Maybe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
can
Sadly.
you hear me now? No. Only in one ear now.
Don't touch. Don't touch.
I
Okay.
only hear
Don't look
Nobody
at it.
touch.
You only hear in one ear?
now.
What?
I can only hear in one ear now.
Are you deaf? What?
Now I've got it. Now
Got it?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
what'd you do?
I don't know. This is all this shit didn't happen until we get to your basement.
Which you
Right.
set up.
And there's
Notice
probably
I've never touched
there's probably
any
some
this
kind of
shit.
weird fluid on this table.
That's not.
And it's
It's only
Right,
that's
no one
only-
touched the
that's
table.
Only truth. 86%
no,
of the time.
no one touched the table.
So wait a minute. Wait. So
Let's get back to hitchhiking.
you were really 12
I was really 12.
at a Dead
At a
concert,
dead concert.
with somebody old enough to drive, and she left a 12-year-old there. You've
She
got
did.
to be.
And then she
fucking
called my
kidding
parents even after it. I was supposed to go home with her, so they never would have known. And she called them and said,
Me. Wait a minute. They didn't know
No, they knew I went to the show. And
with her.
Yes, but they thought I was going home and staying the night with her, which is what I was supposed to do.
How old was she?
Well, she was like
Old enough to drive?
17. She was like 16 or 17.
So how
35.
was that relationship? How?
Because our families were.
Oh, you skied
Yeah,
with her.
we skied together.
Okay,
And,
so okay. All right.
Did you know actually this story though was a after school special played by Helen Hunt?
it should have been.
So you get home and
We drove by her house and it was all dark, and then we drove past my parents' house and every light was on in the whole house. And my dad had already called the sheriff's department, and they were like, "We can't help you. You know how many kids are here, like in camping, and call us in 3 days if you still haven't seen her."
Right. I don't think she's run away.
Yeah. So
She's probably just in a ditch somewhere.
how old
Calls
were-
in 3 days.
how old were the people that dropped you off?
they were probably like in their 30s.
Was it guys and girls
It
and
was
shit?
it
It wasn't
was
like
a-
6 guys, right?
No,
'Cause
no.
It'd have been shot. There'd have been a mass murder.
No, it was a
And then I would have
it was
shot
a
your
married
friend Sherry.
Carrie.
Carrie, whatever the fuck. At that point, it just sounds the same.
No, it was a married couple.
So he was like, "Oh, well, just glad you're home."
No, oh no, my dad was not. My dad was like, my parents are older anyway, so they were kind of like
Mildly pissed.
Well, they were pissed and scared, and
God, that would have
Yeah.
fucking. I would have lost my mind. That'd have been. And then I would have
I mean, Dick was
definitely
great.
gone after. But they knew you went with her.
I mean, they knew I went with her.
I would be
and
more
those
pissed
people
at her.
went up there and they explained to her that, or my dad and my mom, that it wasn't my fault that she left me. And they noticed because we had, pavilion seats, but like we were up in
The lawn.
quite a bit. And they noticed that like she ran off and I wasn't back yet. And so like they kind of waited around and I looked around, then they even walked me out to the parking lot to see if her car was out there.
You know
and then they bought me a grilled cheese.
See, it's all about grilled cheese.
Actually, I've been in that, not at that age, but I've been in the same situation where we walked around after a concert trying to find one of my best friends who will be on this show at some point. And we looked and we looked and we looked, and I'm like, this guy is from Ohio.
I was going to say, was it in Ohio? Because I was at a show in Ohio where there was a guy at the door, at the fence going, "Does anybody know me? Can anybody get me home? Does anybody know who I am?"
No, this was not. This was a Jimmy Buffett concert, and So finally, we took a bus there, and I'm like, all right. So a bunch of our friends, and we can't find him. We're like, where is he? Where is he? And we walk around till the lot's almost empty.
Right, yeah.
And the bus driver's finally like, we're leaving. Like, we're leaving. I get home all the way to the south side, down here behind BW3s is where I used to live. We get home, and he's sitting on my couch
Eating potato chips.
watching TV.
right.
My house was locked.
Waiting.
And I'm like,
How'd you get here?
how did you get in? He goes, well, the window was open. I'm like, my ass. I don't remember if he broke a window. He found a way in. He's sitting there.
They always
I go,
find a way in.
I go, you got to tell me, how did you even get here? Because
And how
he
did
goes,
you
did you
before
check
that?"
yourself?
Right.
Well, because we looked
Well,
around.
yeah, right.
He
Right.
got a ride. He ended up walking to somebody's house up there. And there are still houses up there, up at Deer Creek. Where
Yeah, right.
So there's
Well,
still,
yeah, man, we'll give you a ride home.
and they were having a party, and they're like, he said, I don't even know he didn't even know where I lived. He's only been to my house one time. I don't know how.
There it is.
But then he
I
got
don't know
in.
how he found me. But he got home, and
That's because he's been outside your house in the bushes. Just,
he's from. When we get him on, you need to ask him that. How did you get home from that? Because I don't. I've got two great stories about that guy. Another one's New Year's Eve, but we'll get to that. But anyway,
why are you taunting?
12-year-old what?
It's almost like a tease. I don't know. Don't
Well,
care
because
for it.
he came in town one time, the same dude. So this happens. He gets to Deer Creek. He gets to the far north side. He gets back to my house before I do, and he gets there safe, and we're separated. So one New Year's Eve, he comes into town. We go to a Colts game. I get us Colts tickets, and then it's New Year's.
And he's at your seat before you get there?
This gets
What you
a
doing?
lot better. So we leave
You'd have
the
to.
game and we go to where we were going to go for New Year's. It was downtown. It was on Pennsylvania Avenue downtown, and we're there. And he decides he's like, man, I'm pretty screwed up. I'm going to go home. So he gets in a cab and he takes off. 2 hours later, it's after midnight. I call a cab because I had my own cab kind of guy that
Right.
did a bunch
That
of
always
us.
picked you
yeah.
up. Yeah.
So I called him, and I get in the cab 2 hours later, and I'm giving him directions how to get home. In about 5 minutes, and I realize somebody's in the cab, and I'm like, this motherfucker picked me up. Was somebody else in the cab? I was pissed.
Right.
And I'm just not looking at this dude. And finally, after about 5 minutes, I look, it's my fucking buddy.
He's just passed out on the side.
No, I had called that cab driver 2 hours earlier.
To pick him
He
up.
couldn't remember where the fuck I lived.
So we sat in the cab.
So he went and got food. They took him and gave him food. And he's driving around trying to find it. And then he hears that I call.
Right.
And they go, well, we got to go pick up Jason. And he's like, I'm going with you. Don't drop me off. I'm going with you. He's going to shit when he sees me. And I'm like, how do he and I said, how do we keep getting into this?
I got problems with both. So, number one, 12. I could barely tie my shoes when I was 12.
I didn't want to
What
get
was I,
too deep
sixth
into that.
grade?
I
It's
It's not sixth grade. My sixth grader is only
I'm
10.
in seventh grade.
12?
12. Yeah.
Dead
so you
concert?
flunked 3 or 4 times.
Are your parents not know
I
what goes
didn't.
on at
But no, I mean, I can't imagine at 12 years old, I couldn't do anything.
My parents.
I couldn't remember. We were going to play a baseball game, and I wouldn't remember my hat, my glove, or my cleats.
My parents
Just-
wouldn't have let me go to a Dead concert with my
Oh,
brother.
well, no.
I mean,
my
I had
parent-
to-
there's
I had
no
to
way.
talk them into it, but
How? I mean,
and my parents were pretty strict.
Yeah,
I
but she's a
mean,
girl. Girls get away with stuff that
bull-
boys don't.
What?
Oh,
My father-in-law
absolutely.
wouldn't let my wife go see Cyndi Lauper because he had her mistaken
'Cause
for
she
Madonna. I mean, Madonna was a whore. Cyndi Lauper wasn't.
Oh, right.
I mean, seriously.
Well, but then the other problem. So I have a problem with that because there's no way I wouldn't have found my way home. I would have just died in a ditch. But who has a cab driver that they just call?
I know people
Like
do.
what? You could call a
So-
cab
Yes.
driver? There's no
Well,
way. There
I
is
know
no
friends- I have
way.
friends that have cab drivers.
Before there
now
was
they have
Uber.
Now
Well,
they
right.
have Uber guys.
Before
But
there was Uber, I had basically people couldn't believe it because
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm
Me
going
and-
to call Carl,
well,
and
me-
Carl's just on his way.
Well,
He's
no, his
on
name-
en route.
well,
But
me and-
isn't Indianapolis kind of like I know in Boston that you couldn't hail a cab, like
Right.
you had to call the cab.
Really?
Yeah, in Boston you can't just hail. Or I mean, I'm sure it's changed.
Yeah.
now
Hey!
Ubers.
No.
Yeah, but you couldn't hail a cab, and I thought Indianapolis might have been that way too.
I have no idea.
I don't have any idea. There's
I've
not
only
enough
ridden in a
people-
cab like twice.
Well, there's not enough people in Indy that you need a bunch of cabs. Not like New York, Manhattan, Boston, any of that. But
Vegas.
no, we had a guy that had his own cab service.
Right.
So him and I could tell you 100 stories about
I'm sure.
that.
Why can't you get a cabbie on here?
It was
Yeah,
a
where you at
shit.
on
If I
that?
get him, he may be on death row. He was so crazy, man. The dude was in fucking jail.
That's how it usually
And then
is.
his sister was fucking
Really? Is it
driving.
like I'm thinking about killing somebody?
Yeah.
I better get a
Dude,
job
what-
as a
hey.
cabbie? Is that what you're
Yeah,
telling me?
because
Well,
you
no,
get- you
one
get
night-
people's secrets. You can get them when they're fucked up. You can,
One
I
night,
like it.
One night, his brother picked us up, and one of the guys I used to go out when we go hang out because we were the only single guys left. Is an
Yeah.
attorney.
I wonder why.
It's a painful story.
he was so pretty.
So
he was so
painful.
pretty. You just-
So
Cue the crickets.
right.
No, he's an attorney. We get in, and this guy starts driving, and we can tell he's been fucking drinking.
Right.
He's driving us around drinking. I mean, we could have done that.
Right.
And my
I
buddy-
could have managed that all by myself.
My buddy lays into his ass. So we ended up finding out that, I mean, he picked us up one time with his baby mama in the car and a baby seat with the baby in the back. So we sit in the car and the baby is fucking face backwards in the back. We're like, dude, you can't be picking us up with a baby, man.
I might puke on this baby.
I mean, as nice as it was to know we always had a ride home, we didn't have to drive anywhere. But I was like, okay, this is where I draw the line. And then he got... And
You can't pick me up with a
Because-
baby
because
anymore.
Cab licenses are expensive, so
Right.
they just kind of like share it sometimes.
Well, my
between-
buddy, because he was an attorney, he could look up when this dude got arrested.
Right.
And I mean, this guy ended up from jail calling somebody to try to get whoever got him arrested killed. My
Really?
buddy was like, "You're not gonna believe this.
Right.
This is fucking crazy." And then he all
You
of a
might
sudden,
not want to be alone with this.
and then
thing
like
anymore.
8 months later, he's picking us up, and I'm like, "What?"
How'd you get out?
And I'm looking at my buddy. I didn't want to.
Hello,
ask him,
Jason.
How'd you get out of jail? I look at my buddy. I'm like, "How the fuck is he out of jail?" He goes,
Well.
"I don't know. I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna have to look into it."
I let myself on my own recognizance.
I go, what? But I mean, his girlfriend was it was his sister, his
His
brother.
girlfriend was his sister.
No,
it was
hey, cabbies are a weird
so
breed.
the drivers were his sister, his brother-in-law, who picked us up drunk one time, his girlfriend,
And his
him.
baby mama.
Well, that was his baby
Oh,
mama,
okay.
and she was probably 15 years younger than him,
right.
and like
And did a lot of yelling.
2 car seats and
That son of a bitch and just driving,
I mean,
driving really
I'll
angry.
never forget when we got in the one time the car seat was in there and everybody's got that look on their face where I'm looking at you, you're looking at her, she's looking at me, and we're like, seriously?
Baby.
And then somebody goes, is there a baby in the car seat?
And then you
real?
look and there's
Is
no
it
baby.
real?
She goes, whoops.
Well, one time he picked us up, the baby was in there, and we're like, dude, you can't, what? He goes, well, my old lady needed me to take her to whatever, and I had to watch the baby, and I'm going,
The old lady's working at the brass tonight.
Right.
And,
he's
Somebody's
same
gotta
hours-
take her
same
home.
hours, right?
I've been to the
Right.
brass, I didn't see her.
Somebody's going to stay with the baby.
I mean, how bad is that? I remember my buddy's like, the attorney, he's like, you can't pick us up with the baby
While you're
in
drunk.
the back."
While you're
While
drunk.
you're drunk.
That was Willie. That wasn't my boy. That was his
That's the
brother.
best.
That was his brother.
Well, that just made me think about I get announcements or notifications from that list from
Like when there's baby cab drivers.
No, well,
Oh.
maybe. But that list and
What? Wait, what?
so like the sheriff's list of the your neighbors who might
Oh,
yeah. So
who? Okay.
but do you realize that they don't like? I'll kind of like look it over and that. And I was looking it over the other day, and there was like one woman on there, and it says, what did it say? Something manslaughter, but it's it's the only one that doesn't have a sexual something. And then on the other county one had a man, and it's like murder. It says murder, but he's out, and I'm like, okay.
He's just sitting
Yeah, he's
home
like-
eating
right.
Cheerios.
I'm like, it's good to
Murder.
know he's there. Yeah.
Kind of great attorney.
It wasn't even like involuntary manslaughter. It was
No,
murder.
murder.
So you've got the what is that Citizens app?
It's
You can look on the Citizens. I go, babe. You know what the orange dot is? And she goes, no.
Why
I
is it in
said-
our house?
I said, that's all the people we're most worried about. They're everywhere.
They're everywhere. They are everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they're everywhere. And you're talking about hitchhiking.
Well, she was 12. That's a
I
long
just
time
thought,
ago.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's okay.
I mean-
Well, I mean, not that long ago.
It was a long
No,
time.
but
It's okay.
right,
It's
yeah.
okay.
So it's okay.
I mean,
Hitchhiking was okay then.
That's not necessarily hitchhiking. That's somebody that
Well, I didn't
followed
know.
you.
Who followed you? Wait.
Right.
Which
you were-
one?
Hey, look at that girl in the field. Let's see if she wasn't.
Jesus, I've
See
got
if she needs a ride.
I've got a 12-year-old right now. And she would have never.
No, there's no way I would have gotten home. I'd been
was-
like, "Where do you live?"
Well, now she would have called me on the phone, but back then
Right.
I would have
Like
gone to
nobody
somebody's.
had-
I
yeah.
would have gone to. I probably would have walked to the nearest house. And
Well, they
called.
waited for me, and they
Yeah.
were like, "Your friend," and they were kind enough to walk me out into the parking
Was
lot.
it just
wait
a
for car.
couple?
It was a couple, and they had
There
a
weren't,
little.
like,
they had
more?
they had a little baby. They had like a 3-year-old.
Lucky.
In the back facing, just like the cab.
No, I'm telling you, you're lucky, man. That there's a lot of serial killer stories that sound like that.
Well,
that start like
That's
that.
what I said. There's a after school special with Helen Hunt starring.
You're lucky to be gay.
Now that's funny. This is
Hey, let's
That's
pray.
one of them. That's
You're
one.
lucky.
this is going to circle
feel the
around to
power.
something I talked about the other day, though. So at 12, if I'm,
Pegging.
we've already talked about that today.
I'm talking about pirates. When
Oh,
I'm
right,
talking about pegging.
yeah, right.
Are you happy to be here?
No, but 12 years old, I would have done the same thing as you. If I was at Deer Creek, I would have walked to a house, and then who would I have called?
Ghostbusters.
My dad.
Oh, yeah. He would.
And at 53,
Would he have been?
if I'm left at Deer Creek by myself, I went to a
How's he
house,
get
and you know
there?
who
Can
I
he
call?
drive?
My dad.
Can he drive? Can he drive?
Yeah,
What's he drive?
his car.
What kind of fucking car? I didn't think it was a
He's got
motorcycle.
a
motherfucker.
he's got a van. He's got a van that's equipped for
Nice.
quadriplegic. Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, you made it to the end. If you liked it, please rate and review it, and don't forget to tell your friends. And just imagine how good this thing would have been if we had an intentional approach. And if you didn't like it and you feel like you could do it better, well, smartass, reach out. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, and we have an email. It's unplannedapproach@gmail.com. Look forward to hearing from you. Bye.